Hi there, and welcome back to Helping Hands. Today I'm going to review Waterbox fish tanks. As you can see, I have two Waterbox tanks, and one of them has a sump and the other one does not. Let's see if I can show you a little bit. Sump. And there's the sump. I can't open the other side of the door. They should both just come freely open, but don't do what I did. When I set it up, I put one in the back that opens and then one door in the front that opens, and instead of, they're supposed to both be in either in the front or the back, but I wanted a door to open on both sides, but you're really not supposed to do that because it voids the warranty, is what they said at Waterbox. So as soon as I can change that out, I will, because it's more convenient too if you just have the whole side to be able to open the doors, both doors in the front. Like we have, this one just has a single door, so we don't have to worry about that one. See? I got a canister filter in there. And of course, like I said, the other one has a sump. And one of my tanks is for fancy goldfish. And the other one, I have it set up as a discus tank. Now, I've had discus fish for many years. I've been a fish hobbyist for many years now. But these two are my first Waterbox tanks. And I haven't had the Waterbox tanks that long. I guess I've probably had the black one maybe 2-3 years, and the other one maybe a year. The light wood colored one with the canister filter, the smaller one, approximately a year. I initially had the smaller Waterbox tank with the fancy goldfish in a different location, but I since moved it because one of the problems I was having with that particular tank was that I could not adjust it, and I tried continuously to adjust it to where the door just opens nice and smooth and doesn't rub. I didn't have a problem with the larger tank with the doors rubbing on the bottom of the floor at all. And I have tile floors, so it should be fairly easy to adjust them. You know how if you guys do have a Waterbox tank, they're fully adjustable, the doors, to where you can move them up and down and all kinds of ways to adjust the door height so it swings open nice and smooth and it doesn't get caught on the floor. But like I said, with the black tank, I never had any issues with the door being stuck. It just, I'm thinking maybe it's because of where it's at. I'm not sure, because like I said, when I had the smaller tank, and by the way, my large tank is a Peninsula, I believe. The one with what do you call it? The sump in it. That's what I believe that one is, and I forget the name of the other one. I can put it down in the comments later if you need it, but I'm sure you can just see from the video which ones they are. The smaller Waterbox with the lighter wood is the cube. Just has the one door. And then the Peninsula, I believe it's Peninsula. I should have really checked before I did this, but I've had it for a few years. and I believe that is exactly what it is. So yeah, I had a little trouble with the door on the smaller tank, so I decided to move it, and then also kind of wanted to have them there and free up some space where I had it for a long time, and I kind of wanted to just change things up a little bit. And so I did that, and then, you know, both of the tanks give each other, the fish give each other company. As you can see, I only have one right now, fancy goldfish, in the smaller Waterbox tank. And that's because if you've seen some of my other videos, I was having an issue with my goldfish. One of my fancy goldfishes, and he did, she did finally pass, and I did everything I could. I mean, I did everything I could, and I think now, even though I love fancy goldfish, I don't believe I'll be going back to fancy goldfish, but because out of all the different types of fish I've had through the years, they seem to me to be the most emotive, the most intelligent of all the fish. And it's so hard when you lose one of the fish, and they have a lot of what is it, the bladder problems with the goldfish, and it's just so hard to lose one. And this last one was really hard, as he fought so hard to live, and I did everything I could, and I even had an appointment to take him to the vet, but by that time it was too late, because they put me way out, and there was no emergency anything. So, but I did a lot of things, and if you see those videos, you'll see. But yeah, I think I'll stick to discus, and I think what I'm going to do is try saltwater tank with the cube, the smaller one, eventually. But yeah, these Waterbox tanks are pretty nice. They are pretty nice. Like I said, the only complaint I would probably have would be that door on the smaller one. No matter how much I try to adjust it, I mean, I think there's got to be something I'm doing wrong, but my goodness, I've tried everything, and I can't get it like the black one, just nice and smooth. But I'm still hopeful that I will. I really do like these tanks. They are quite expensive. I was just at the fish store the other day, and I saw these beautiful tanks. They're not as fancy as like the Waterbox. They don't cost as much. But what I liked about the ones at just like at PetSmart or whatever it was that I was at, I forget which one, PetSmart, Petco I was at, and the tank was cheaper, but it was a lot longer, you know, and it was shorter. So, and I kind of liked it. I was like, wow, you know, maybe I should have just went with one of these cheaper ones, because I really like the length compared to these two that I have. It was a lot longer and cheaper, and it still was beautiful. It was a beautiful tank. And then I would have just had the one tank, and then I like that it was a bit shorter. I mean, some of you might prefer the taller tanks. Like some of the Waterboxes are quite tall, like the black one here that I have. So I don't know. I'm not sure what you guys prefer. But when I was looking at them at the store the other day, I was like, wow, you know, it's a really nice tank, and it's cheaper. And like I said, you don't get the lower tanks. I kind of like the shorter tanks, and they're quite long and still have a nice girth to them as well with. So, but you know, overall, I do like the Waterbox tanks. The light that I have on the peninsula, I had that for one of my previous tanks from years back. It's one of those really good lights that they're really expensive now. I think I paid, when I bought mine, and it's still going strong, it's a Radiant, I think, Radiant, I forget the name again, but I'm pretty sure it's Radiant, for freshwater fish, and it was like maybe 300 or something, and now they're like 500 and something just for one. They're really expensive. So, and mine's still going strong. So I'm kind of glad that I have it. And then the other one on the goldfish tank is just a cheap light that I got off of Amazon. But as you can see, it really enhances my goldfish colors quite well, and the tank quite well, even though it's a cheaper light. With the more expensive Radiant light up there, you can set it with all these different things, and I just haven't had time. And you plug it in, you actually plug it into your computer, and you can have an app for it, all these different things, and I've been meaning to set it up, and I haven't had a chance. It still has the old settings, but I need to get back in there and set it up. But yeah, the water boxes, I would say for having them this long, I can give an honest review about them. And like I said, the door is really the only thing I've really had trouble with the water boxes. And again, when I go to the store, I kind of see the lower, longer tanks, and I'm like, I would have liked to have tried one of those. But if you like the higher tank, and maybe you need a sump, the water boxes are great, and they are beautiful tanks. That would probably be my only complaint. I mean, well, let me see. Let me think of one more thing that is that's coming to mind now. The pipes for the water box. I would say that I have not personally cleaned out the pipes. I clean out everything else, but I guess for having them this long, I probably should have already cleaned the pipes. And I have not done that. And I look at the pipes, and I think that they're probably could use, a cleaning. See it? You can see here. I don't know if you can see. See it? It has a hole to where you can see the pipes there. And then, of course, on the inside of the tank is where you see the pipe setup there. But I would think it's probably going to be pretty hard to clean those pipes, and also the top where the filtration goes in through here, because I have had some issues with the filtration when I've tried to feed my fish beef heart. The homemade beef heart that some of these people that raise discus fish, they sell homemade beef heart, and it just clogged the heck out of my tank when I was feeding them that, and it was like goo. It was like complete goo, and it would get stuck there in the filtration that comes down through the pipes that I just showed you, and I just like muck, and I had to physically take that muck out, and then I just stopped feeding them that. I asked the seller, how can I avoid that? And I forget what song and dance they gave me, but it didn't matter. It was just the way it was made, and even if you just fed them very little, which I did, I fed them very little, and it still managed to get clogged up. But when you buy the one at the store, the beef heart at the store, it doesn't get clogged up. Of course, I feed them other things besides beef heart, but the beef heart was only for growth, is really what I I feed them that for, is for growth. But yeah, it's the homemade one just gets mucked up in this tank, in a water box tank. So FYI on that. Now the store-bought one does not do that. It does not do that. So I wanted to point that out. And like I said, it's probably going to be pretty tedious to clean out those hoses and that whole area, because you have to take them apart, and you can't have any water in there, of course, when you do that. So I'm not looking forward to that, but it probably is time to do that. If you guys know of an easy way to do that without maybe taking everything apart and having no water in there and moving the fish, please put it in the comments of perhaps how you guys might clean the pipes if you have one of these tanks. But yeah, and see, like with the canister filter, I have the metal pipes, but they still have a little bit of rubber hosing to them as well. But those don't seem to be they don't get that clogged up. And what happens is when you put on the canister filter, it just blows everything out. And so that does a good job of cleaning them up too. So anyway, guys, that's my review for the water box tanks. And as you can see, I do have 2 of them, so I do know a thing or two about these tanks, and I feel that I can give a decent review here on them. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I will answer them as best I can. Yeah, I would recommend the water box tanks. They stay the heaters. I have heaters in the sump, and I have a heater, as you can see, in the goldfish tank, and they heat up nicely. The glass is thick, and they heat up nicely. They clean up too. I mean, there is some water residue, as you can see, on the larger tank that I haven't cleaned, but those are easy to clean. You can scrape that off with like a razor blade. Just be careful not to scratch. It comes off with a razor blade and then a cloth for some of the harder water deposit areas. Real easy. It comes off like that. You can just do a real soft scrape with a razor, or they have these tools, these fish tools too, with a razor blade on the end that you can do that with, and just do it real soft, and it just comes off real easy, the water deposits. So that's my review, and like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments, and I will get back to you and let you know the best I can. And that is my 2 to 3 year review of water box tanks. Thank you, and please leave a like, and it would be so great if you could subscribe. That would help me out a lot. Thank you. Have a great day.